Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for the collective. Know that energy is fluid. Rules can be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, to see how they play out as karmic themes to help you understand why your person's doing what they're doing. Really important when we're dealing with a person that wears masks and creates facades, right? So let's get into it. Now, if you resonate with the message, again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It's good karma. Also know, again, these are shadow readings. So we look at a lot more than what your person did do, what they're going to do. We always look at why they do what they do. First card out and the second card out is just the underlining energy that tells us why everyone does what they do. Really important when you're dealing with a person that wears masks, create facades and illusions to make you perceive something that usually isn't true. It's what they want you to perceive. So let's see what that word is. It is elitist. You know, I'm already not liking the message, but we're going to pull another one just to be safe. And maybe I'm jumping the gun. Criticize, judgment. Well, your person, the person that's connected to you, is actually connected to someone else. And they stay in that connection because they get to, keep their money. They get to be seen as somebody that is important. Like people that are elitists, they get special treatment, this person feels, and they like that. So what really holds their connection to the other person is not love, it's money, it's status. And so that's the underlining energy. And so I feel like you've been in separation from a person and they actually are like in hiding from you because they know you would call them out on it and they don't want to hear the criticism because you know that they're in a relationship that's really imbalanced and they kept you in a state of imbalance because of it, is what I feel. So the underlining energy is that this person's not really doing anything. So let's see what they are doing in that connection, since they're not really doing anything, and let's see whether they're going to do something. So again, betrayal. Well, I feel like they're not happy. They're not happy. And part of them is suppressing their emotions. So I feel like this person betrayed you. There was a sense that you really thought that you were going to be with this person. This person really thought they were going to be with you. And I feel like they were going to get out of their connection. They really thought that they were. But then what I feel is that the person that they were connected to lured them back in. And it had to do with money. It had to do with status. It had to do with either getting an opportunity, an upgrade, something where they had to stay together because, hey, if they broke up, that would divide the assets. And what happened is that this person decided to stay, and the person that told them whatever they told them lied. That karmic person lied. They sold them a pipe dream. So now you're in separation from a person that isn't getting anything, but they hide behind the facade that they're like someone important, that they're an elite, that they're, living their best life, but they're not, because they were betrayed. Whatever this person did to you was done to them. And they're trying not to acknowledge anything. And so again, the eating disorder is that this person is suppressing their feelings. They're suppressing their emotions. They don't know really what to do. Whoop, that fell on the ground. And I also feel like a lot of karmic energies, such as like this person grew up in an environment where the parents were dependent. They lived a very toxic connection where, there was no love. There was a lot of betrayal. And it's almost like this person is reliving that family karma, and they see it, and they're not happy. And that was the one thing that they always said that would never happen to them. So I feel like this person made a lot of money, and the person that's connected to them kind of either they got, again, through marriage, through a commitment, they obtained like part of that wealth. And so now what it is it's like this person almost feels like they're living their parents' situation, which is their parents were in a trauma bond connection. It was a very toxic connection. No one was ever happy. This person had to grow up too fast. They wound up getting into a connection, the same type of karmic connection. But the irony is that this person built wealth. They didn't have to choose this route. Is That's the whole point. So they're upset. Like you see how this child is sitting there, like they're so upset and depressed. This is what this person's like, because they're like, why did I choose this way? Why did I choose this person? And it's because they got tricked, they got betrayed. Because hey, that person that's connected to them didn't want them to break up. Again, it's the illusion of what it is. It's not really what it is. But to the karmic person, hey, there's nothing else if you take that away. It's just the illusion. And for your person that's connected to you, they have to make a decision. Is the money more important, or the illusion? Now it's not even the money, because this person didn't get any money. It's the illusion of the money and what it looks like, or love. And that's why they're upset. And again, they're in a place of imbalance because they don't know what to do. And again, they're angry, they're victim, because and so what we know right now, and I'm just going to point this out because again, therapy style to this reading is to acknowledge that this person's thinking all about what's happening to them. They're not even thinking about how they treated you. Understand that there was a lot of projection. This person creates a lot of, and now I feel like as they fade out of, again, they're all going to be a victim because again, they got tricked. But now they're actually looking around, and what they see is, well, if they weren't minding that you weren't around, well, now they're like, well, where are you? I thought, that by now that you would get triggered. This person thought that they weren't going to lose. And I'm going to tell you why. They thought that they were going to take their money. They were going to be in a connection with you. But they never saw this coming. They got sideswiped by that karmic person, So it's almost like now their mask slipped off their face and you see who they are. And so for a long time, like the competition was really that this person didn't want to cave to you, didn't want to have to be the one that reached out to you. I feel like, part of them having, I believe, commitment issues is the fact that they grew up in that environment, and now they're living it. And that's really how trauma plays out. So when we see what they're doing, they're not doing anything. They're just feeling like empty. And that the reason why is because their relationship's a sham, and that person didn't even follow through with what they promised to keep them stuck. That karmic didn't want them to go to you. They knew they were going somewhere, and they said, you're not going to take half my money. You're not going to take half the status. You're not going to, because I'm not going to have anything then. Who am I? I'm just going to be a schmo, and I stayed with you, which was a sham of a connection anyway. This person compromised themselves. So they're angry, where I for whatever reason, I feel like your person thought that this person, that they couldn't trust this person. Where that karmic played along like everything was okay for a long time, and it wasn't okay for a long time. And so now, here it is, you're looking at this person, they have give you a lot of time, where you're like, oh, well, now what I see is that you had a lot of time for a so-called hobby or interest, when meanwhile, the whole time you wouldn't have gotten yourself in that situation if you didn't care about that person somewhat. So you're like looking at it's like, how did they easily manipulate? Well, I must have been not that important that they could just sell you a pipe dream and you like dropped it like it was hot. It's like it's not rocket science. It's like that all this time that's going by that you really had time to look at the situation again and saw the person's dishonesty. So now you're not seeing this person for the way that they are because they kept it in a place of disequilibrium for a long time because, hey, they didn't want to deal with that criticism, because, hey, listen, they look stupid. They look foolish. They're like, they thought that they couldn't fail. They thought that they couldn't lose. And now what they're seeing is everybody is seeing them for who they are. Again, they just didn't give you enough time. And that's what it is. They gave you enough to hold on, to again believe that something could happen. And it's because I feel like for a moment in time, they believed it was going to happen. And then what happened was that karmic was like, oh no, that's not going to happen. And so here it is. It's like, and what you feel like is for a long time, this person, like when you would say something to them, it was almost like you felt like they were like blaming you. Like maybe you were being too needy or putting too much pressure or whatever it was, where really this person the whole time, they were half in, half out with that karmic. And that's what that karmic knew. And it wasn't because of love. It was because of the status. It was because of the money. It was because of that. So let's see what this person's going to do. I want to see what are they going to do, like if they're going to do, or what type of relationship is this? Because what we see here is like they're not happy, but they're not happy because again, what goes around comes around. Let's see if anything is going to happen with this person. I wish you could see that we're mirroring each other right now. So again, feel your energy. So maybe again, you're pissed off. It's like, and you're pissed off because of the way that they treated you, and they're pissed off too because, hey, now they're the victim and you didn't act the way that they thought that you were going to act. And this person certainly didn't act the way that they were going to act. So this person just is feeling like, well, if you're not coming to me, like you feel the same exact way. But this person is actually in your shoes, like you put them in your shoes. And so again, separate or together, we are working in tandem. They can still feel your energy. Your thoughts and your emotions are what create the energy. So you can be mad at this person. And this person doesn't care whether you're angry or you're not. It's actually worse if you would cut your energy off completely. So that's, you have to be mindful. If you really want to scare this person, you cut your energy off from them completely. And that's by putting your mind somewhere else. This person struggles with codependency. So if you want to know why they stay in that connection and why that facade is so important, the elitism, again, that they're hiding behind a sham is that karmic, and this person's codependent. Like I told you, that karmic is like, if you're going to leave me, I don't have anything. You're going to take half the money. Right now, we're seen as someone important. We're someone important. And I want to hold on to that. And if you leave, then where am I? And this person needs to realize that they're not their stuff. They're not their job. They're not their money. They're not, you understand what I'm saying? So it's like that's why they're being put in this situation. And I think that you're mad at this person. I actually feel like they're a little bit mad at you because they know that you're like, what are you doing? Like, you're someone that lives real. You're someone that's a truth speaker. And you're like, what are you doing? It's like, because I know you have feelings. I mean, you might not say it. It's again, but you can feel it. And you're going to stay loyal to something that you don't want to stay loyal to because of what it looks like. And so again, it's also because this person gave too much power to that person. And that's why I said, that's why they didn't see that person change. They didn't see that person change. That person changed on them somewhere along the lines because they confided in this person and said, I'm going to leave. I have feelings. And that's why this person threw a monkey wrench in the situation. They said, oh no. You're not, but they pretended. So that's why your person is almost like, what the fuck? It's like, what happened? It's again, so now of course they long for your kisses and your touch. It's again, they long for you, that emotional connection. Because this karmic and this person, they will live in a sham for a long time. Like I said, they were like, uh, have you ever been in love? Like, do you ever regret? And that karmic's like, we're rich. No. What are you, stupid? There's no such thing as love. And it wouldn't work out with you anyway. So your person has low self-esteem, they're codependent, we know this, and they listen to somebody that's toxic. That and instead of you, that person, and that's not because they don't love you or care about you. That's because that karmic knew the buttons to push. And they've been doing playing this game for a long time. The relationship's been dead a long time. This person just is like was gonna do something about it. They trusted that person. It's like they expand your concept of what a twin flame is. It's more than a romance. It's a deep soul activation to heal in order to embody love and light. Well, that's what it would take for this person to get out of that shit show of a connection, because they have a low self-esteem. They're connected to someone that fooled them, that tricked them. They don't know whether they're coming or going or met themselves on the way back, because again, they trusted themselves and now they're looking and they don't know. And they know also that they betrayed you. They know. And so it's all of it. And so it's the money, it's the situation. And so again, for this person, like it would take that much. Otherwise, that's why the karmic is mad, because they're like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make you give up. Like, give up. There's no such thing as love. You're going to stay right here. And the thing is, with twin flame, that's a divine connection. That spirit actually has said, I think that you two would make a good couple, and not because of any other reason, but because you need healing, and you could both, help each other in that element. Oh, it's not going to feel like it, but it really actually is. It brings out your trauma to make you look at it, whether you want to or not. It's again, this person like is looking at their trauma right now. They're in codependent connection with like a person that disguised themselves as someone, and now the mask fell off, you know? And it's like this person is like is shocked. And yeah, they're in the victim seat. They haven't really even begun to look at how they treated you, but they know that how they treated you, meaning they know I'm not looking at that because I'm dealing with my shit. But once I look at your shit, then I'm really going to feel bad. My heart, again, this person is with another person and they have to finish this karmic contract in order to be free. This person needs to learn the difference between guilt and love. This person's not emotionally intelligent. They have a low self-esteem. That karmic is on them like white on rice, not going to go anywhere. I mean, that's a 24/7 job, which, by the way, eventually won't work because the divine does come in and say, fuck you. I win. You lose. You don't own anybody, and your life is not to control. So you're going to lose everything because you're coming from a place of fear. So the bigger you are, the harder you fall. So whatever you're trying to do, you're going to screw yourself. You need to grow up and actually say what you need to say and set appropriate boundaries. And you need healing also, spirit says, because this person, like I said, they weren't giving you any, like, again, they were staying connected, but they were in a codependent connection. So you didn't meet the real version of this person. You met a facade of this person. So, and you didn't recognize that. So, and that means because you're in balance. So we're going to look at that, is what spirit says. So this is what we see right now, that this person is that. Are they going to do anything about that situation? Oh, come back. What happened? Well, this is the weirdest thing ever. It looks like I'm still on, but that was pretty crazy. I like hit something and you guys disappeared for a second. All right. So, like I said, this person has to leave, but I wanted to see, are they going to come back? Are they going to try and come back? Are they going to, what are they going to, if they're going to do anything? And just so that you know, this person's not healthy or enough, even if they do come back, because they're codependent. So, you know, they don't really understand how they got themselves into this connect, like that, where they are now. And so if they get out of it, they're going to run to you the same exact person that they were. So it's to be aware of that. Understand, twin flame doesn't mean that they're coming to you perfect. What it means is that they're ready to do the work, and that the divine says, well, I have the perfect person for you, and vice versa. So again, yes, they have what it takes, and to build them. It's again, yeah, yes. They're going to do it. They're going to step into their masculine energy, and they're going to fix their life. They're going to take control, because what's happening is that karmic is like on them like white on rice, like I said, and they can't handle it. They feel like they can't breathe, because that karma is like, you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to go anywhere. And so this is actually making this person again see that person for really who they are. And they said, I could live this way because I thought you were my friend. I thought like I thought that we would just, that this was our connection, where that karmic was like, no, I was in love with you. It was like, I gave up my life to create this life that you have. I helped you create this life. And now you're going to leave me, and it's my life. It's like, that's my status. That's my money. And this person needed to say, well, you know what? I don't care about the money, which is really blowing the fuck out of this karmic, because the karmic's like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, like I thought that I could bind you to like your money, and the person's like, no. It's like, what's happening is a lot of destruction, trouble. It's like, it's again, this person sees who this person is, and they're like, I'm not, like, no. It's like, all you want is the money and the status. You don't want me. You don't want me. It's like, because how you see me is that I betrayed you for however many years we've been together, because we've had an open marriage. I have never, like, the relationship fell apart a long time ago. So that's why this person is like, where the karmic is like, I don't care. I was always able to reel you back in with the money and with the status, and it would take a twin flame to get this person out, to say, you know what, I need to fix this. Again, and they're getting support from the universe. They're literally getting the support from the universe to get out of this, because that's the divine saying, hey, listen, it's like, we're running late. We got to go. Like, you've outgrown this. But you've been keeping yourself in this low vibration next to this karmic for a long time. And so, now and you've sacrificed. It's time to let go. You've sacrificed. It's time to release. This karmic's never going to give up. It's up to you to leave. This person was like waiting for that person to let go. That karmic's never going to let go. It's like, but they can leave. They can leave, but they felt guilty. They were manipulated. They're confused, because guilt feels a lot like love. And this person's calling them a piece of crap every day and making them feel bad, and making them feel, this person doesn't have self-esteem, and they can't even think because they're in the same quarters, So it's overstimulating. So that's what it would have taken. That's what it had to take for this person to get so uncomfortable to like leave. But the divine says, but I still needed a catalyst. I still need a catalyst. Whether you're going to be with this person or not, it doesn't really even fucking matter. What matters is that they get out of that situation, is what the universe says. Doesn't even matter. Like, because my job, the universe says, is to help restore them, bring them back to the energy of unconditional love. And clearly, look at how they're living. That's a shit show over there. And they're supposed to be my energy. Neither one of them are my energy. It's again to hear you're in my energy, because you're in the energy of love. You're respecting yourself. You're honoring yourself. It doesn't mean that you're not hurt by what the person did, but you're like, whatever it was. And that's the thing that this person sees. They're like, that person isn't who you're saying. I think that that karmic like said a lot of bad things about you, even though they might not have ever known you, just to again shade this person. And now it's again they're going to succeed. They're going to succeed in getting out, but it's all about the money. And the thing is that you match this person's energy. What it showed this person is the person that I'm connected to let me go. It's like they might have been hurt, but they let me go. You are on me like fucking white on rice. I can't breathe. I can't, you're controlling me. And you're manipulative. And so your mask fell out off. And so I'm going to take my money. I'm going to take my money because I know who the real deal is. I couldn't tell who the real deal was. The twin flame always shows who the twin is, who's real. And I believe that karmic was like, I'm that person. And your person like, no, you're not. You are not. Because again, I might have been bad, but the way that you're acting, because I was bad to this person and they let me go. And they're out there creating a life. They can match my money. I make money. I don't need you. You need me. And that's really what it took for this person to see what their worth was, where the universe said, listen, I got to utilize whatever it is in the universe to help anyone and everyone to become the best energy. So again, this person saw you as the angel. You changed their life. And that's, again, love. God says, all I am is love. The unconditional love, meaning that, hey, I'm going to let you go. I think you're an asshole, for staying with that person. But hey, you do you, It's like, I'm not going to fight you on it. I'm not going to make you do anything, But see, that's the whole thing. That karmic, as long as they know that that person doesn't really want to be there, it would be you, and then it would be someone else, and then it would be someone else, and then it would be someone else. Because what that karmic knew is they don't want to be with me. And that's what made them more crazy and more controlling and more manipulative, which actually is what ruined this connection. Because where the person would have stayed afraid to do anything. They had to get that uncomfortable. So when you say, why did you attract this person into your life? If you're a mirror of whom, what comes into your life? First card out is nurturing. We always look at the inner child wounds and we see where that fragmentation came from. Again, lies and secrets. Loner. Self-love. Unworthy. Oppression. Water. Okay, so what we see here is that your second chakra was affected, and that is your unique individuality center. When we talk about balance, how do we find balance in our life? We find it through the passion for life. How do we find the passion for a life? It's when we go out into the world and we play. That's why it says be like childlike, because children go out into the world and they play to find themselves. Well, I feel like the things that you liked, that on some level they were oppressed, like you felt like you were oppressed by your family, where they were like, no, you're going to do this. No, you're going to do this. And if you tried to do it, you felt like, again, unworthy mainly because that's how they made you feel, right? Again. So no child hates themselves. They're not taught that. That's taught. It's like, meaning a child doesn't just wake up one day and say, you know what, today I decided to not like myself. No, they're told that. And again, it's being through oppression and feeling unworthy. And why I say that is because it affects the way that we love ourselves. It's like what we feel we deserve. And it's not, we don't really even realize that we're doing it. It comes out in our habits, it comes out within our behaviorisms where you don't nurture yourself. It's like almost like you look for that nurturing, and nurturing just is that emotional, support. This person wasn't emotionally able to give you anything because they're connected to somebody else and they don't want to be in. You disconnected, from them. They're now seeing the difference, but you didn't get any of that. You didn't like it. They chose to stay, wherever they chose to stay due to money, or got reeled in, I should say. So again, not this person didn't give you. So you have to give to yourself. And that comes through again, the water element. The water element is that second chakra. It's the passion for life. It's the emotional center. And so when we are again embodied in the passions for life, when that's through finding ourselves, having a love affair with ourselves by being interactive, it's a grounding issue that spirit says, there's a little bit of a lack of a grounding condition. Situation, because when you are in your body and interactive in life, that's when you find the things that are going to resonate with you. You're going to meet people, situations, experiences that change your mind and your heart about who you are. On some level, you still felt like maybe I'm not deserving of love. And maybe you're like, well, I always knew I was deserving of love, but I grew up in an environment where I believed the lies. And that was a big secret of mine that I made me feel like I needed to be like I wasn't loved. So I was more comfortable being a loner. And I didn't see myself in those type of relationships where I was getting nurtured. And so because I wasn't getting nurtured, I didn't believe that I could get it. And Spirit says, well, you have to do it for yourself first in order to get it. So again, the oppression and feeling unworthy, if you decided to embody what you wanted to do, well, Spirit says that was when you were a child. So now you might say, well, I just live kind of safe. I go to work, I come home, I have some friends. But Spirit says, but none of those things are going to make a way where there is no way just for you, especially if you're imbalanced. If you're imbalanced, it it doesn't mean it can mean that you can't support yourself. But in this element, usually when we're talking about relationships, what we're talking about is the passion in your life. A lot of people look for that through relationships first. And Spirit says, you can't do that because you'll give too much. And relationships have to ebb and flow. We have to be able to go with the flow of life. And that's through our own passion for life. That's not through a person. That's through becoming yourself. So the issue here is again, that was oppressed. Again, oppressed. So you might have been like, I was always the different kid. I liked to do things that other kids didn't want to do. So I oppressed it. Nevertheless, it was a lie. And now it's about nurturing yourself again. And that's filling your cup up by giving yourself the self-love, which says, I am worthy. I am good enough. Again, so that you could put the energy into create, like I said, that's your individuality center, your passion center. In birthing something, it's the same center as your birthing center. So it's the creative center. Like, what are you going to create? Who are you going to become? What do you want? How do you want to give and receive of love? If you're balanced and interactive in life, which Spirit said that was an imbalance, and then you're not connecting as deeply to people on an emotional level where you're being fulfilled. So of course that person is going to be like the steak dinner that you haven't eaten in about 12 years, where it's not, you're not seeing everything accurately because you're in balance. And so Spirit says, now you have to embody the new consciousness, because understand this person's going to come back, but we don't know when. They want to fix it. It's a process. And Spirit says, oh, and understand it's you'll be doing your healing during this time. Is so understand I bring everyone together when they're ready. And that's divine time. So don't when you say when is it, it's divine time. And then you can always have the option to say no. I don't want to be with them. And if you're living a life where you're meeting people, that might happen. Because you might say, you know what, I don't want to deal with it. It's like, yes, I love that person, but the relationship I know is going to be a hard one, and I don't really want to deal with it. I want it easy, and that would be their karma because of what they did. And Spirit says, well, I don't care. They still the energy of unconditional love, and it serves them right anyway. Fuck them. They let them get their karma, meaning here it is. It's like, they shouldn't have done what they did. It's okay that you do that. Or, understand you might say, I really do love you. You really are my person. You're not going to know. That's the irony. You're not going to know until that moment. And the Spirit says, in divine time, all will be revealed. And understand you're protected. So no one's going to hurt you. And that it's okay to be vulnerable. Being open to healing is the first way. But I think, again, to be vulnerable is first to give and receive of love. Become yourself. Because in this way, when you really like who you are, it doesn't matter when someone else says, and you're invested so much in your time. You can tell if someone's only giving you a breadcrumb, and then you're not going to give them energy. You're going to be like, you're not worth my time. I'd rather be over here. I'm entertained over here. It's like every week I go to Painting with a Twist and I see Fabio in the corner. It's like, and he's been talking to me and we have a really great time. It's like, did you plan that? No. It's just I just happen to like painting and I really like wine. So I mean, Spirit says, I don't care what you do. Just do it. It's again because it's gonna open up your heart. Because if you were oppressed, well then your heart's closed. And so remember, if those lower chakras are imbalanced, then the higher ones are imbalanced too. That's the way that it goes. For those of you that know your spiritual centers or your psychological and your emotional centers, and the habits and behaviorisms that come from those, imbalances are what turns your DNA on and off. You'd have the power to change, to heal, to rise above, again, where you're able to like see yourself for who you are today, that you're in, not the wounds of yesterday from living. Again, and just Spirit says now it's time to live authentically